have bees all over my squash this morning. I'm just going to stop for a minute. When we came down to the garden this morning, it's about 6:45 in the morning. You can hear these bees, so I'm just going to stop and let you listen just for a minute. So I came out here, and me and my dog, my faithful dog Rusty, we come down here. We come down here every morning, and what I do is I try to see where my garden is and everything. Had a little bit of shower yesterday, just a very small one, and while we were out and everything, I knew that where we were located at, we knew that we had a shower, but we actually came. And so what I do is I'm going to show you. Man, these bees are really working today. I'm so excited. Look how the flowers look. It's just amazing. It's always amazes me and everything. I got some plants in here that are struggling a little bit, but it's what I've said before. It could be is that the variation of how many plants that I have in here. So what I will be doing is I'll be continue to watching these plants, and it's not going to hurt me if I have to remove this plant right here in the corner, because I have other ones and I want to allow the growth to be able to come. But the reason I wanted to show this video is that at this time of the year, the temperatures here in North Carolina can vary. Meaning is like, 2 weeks ago, it was in the 90s. And then now it's in the 80s where it's normal and everything. The problem is that we get sporadic showers at times, just like we did, but it may not be in this location. This little taster is called apine. I guess that's what you call it. I'm going to show you the back of it for the name of it. This little tester right here is what they call a 3-in-1 tester. It'll actually show me the moisture, how moist my soil is, and then my pH, which is the bottom end. I'm going to try to go in here kind of tight so you can see. The bottom end, you can probably tell it says alkaline and then acidic. So what that tells me is based on my pH. And then also I have another one that tells me if I'm getting enough light to my beds and everything. Or in this area where I'm at, I am. But I just wanted to show you this because this is what I use a lot, especially if we have some rain come in. And it's very simple to use, and I'll just show you exactly what you do. And it gives me a reading based on the area that I'm going to turn around to my other bed so you can get a better view. There's so much growth in here, I wanted to make sure. But I do all my beds this way before I even water it, especially if I'm still questioning about what's going on with my plants, or excuse me, with my beds. But basically what this is has 2 prongs, and it'll go in the ground, and then I can actually get a reading, and I'll show you that. All right, so what I've done is I've got it over on the moist side, and basically what I'm going to do is about 2 to 4 inches in the ground, and then you can kind of read that, what it says. You see it's in the red, it's telling me it's dry. It's not completely dry, but it is dry. I want that needle in the middle and everything. So all my beds I've gone through. Here's the other thing I'll just show you too as I'm doing this. I've got it lean or angled so you can see it. I can go to the light part, it's in the middle, and right there that tells me what the variation of the light is. And then pH, if you look at the pH is kind of low too. So determining, what to do on my soil and everything is what I look at. And this is a good little tool to have. It only costs me on Amazon about $11. You can actually buy them probably at some local garden centers. They have different styles and different brands, but this one is just easy. You just want to make sure you don't break these prongs. And basically you just go around and keep putting it in the dirt, and it gives you an idea based on what you have. So I hope this is something that you could use and something that may have interest you and everything. So it is early here, just like I said, and I'm just out here. I come out here every morning. I usually rise up about 6 o'clock or there shortly before. I'll come out here to the garden. I go ahead and I want to see what my garden's doing and everything. And then also I come out here and I will water the garden. I make sure I get a good thorough watering. Now, based on the temperature, and that's one important thing, you can do one that you're really a soaking watering to your garden basically is that you're allowing more water to set into your soil. What you don't want to do is that you don't want to overwater your plants, especially and that's why I check it, especially if we've had a little bit of rainfall. I don't want the plants to be over drenched and everything, because then you can cause diseases and fungus and everything on your plants. But you want to make sure that you have enough water, because in order for these plants to grow and the vegetables and get to harvest, they've got to have enough moisture in there. And that's probably one of the things that I've really had to learn over the past few years, is that most of the time the issues that we have with our plants is based on what we did or the care that we took with our plants. A lot of times, if you don't have to water every day, you can water every other day, but it's encouraged when the temperatures are really, really hot that you want to be able to water them every day if you can, especially like we've had in the high 90s. The other thing that I would encourage you is that if you're going to water them at night, get it right before dark, when the sun has been off your garden for about 45 minutes to an hour. Because what happens is the heat of the day is that, especially the soil is warmed up, but what can happen is that when the water hits it, it'll just evaporate, and you don't have to have. But if you are going to do that in the evening, I encourage you to water it a little bit more. I do it in the morning because it gives it a lot of time for the soil to cool down and it's ready to go. And then what it will do is that I don't have to worry about the plants. They can go through it, and then throughout the day it's got enough moisture to do it. The other thing is that I think that when you water it in the morning, you have a less risk of that, where you're going to have water splashes that gets up on the plants, that's going to stay on there, that can cause diseases and other things that comes from the soil. So I hope this little tip will help you and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and water my garden, getting it ready, and then get it ready for the day. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and until next time, this is Dave from Dave's Raised Bed Garden. Take care.